Microphone check 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. I'm your host, The Zone, and welcome to Zone 864 TV. You dig? Listen, man. As y'all come into the building, as y'all come into the live stream, man, we gonna be chopping it up for a little bit. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, man. The live chat is open, man. Make sure I got all my settings right, man. I've been trying to do this stream actually for like the last 2-3 days, man. I've been having some technical difficulties with my software, man. And I'm actually still kind of like having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight. Hopefully everything sounds okay. Everything looks good. The volume is looking good, man. Make sure y'all tap the like button, tap the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, man. Y'all just don't know the troubles of a live streamer, of a content creator, man. But again, welcome to Zone 864 TV. I know it's been a hot minute since I went live, out here taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? Trying to handle things in real life, trying to do what I got to do so I can do what I want to do. But yeah, man. And I'm still a little bit unprepared. Unfortunately, I thought I had everything pulled up, but I don't. I still got some information I need to pull up. But listen, y'all see the title, man. Y'all see the title. We're gonna be talking about TASHA K. And I may or may not leave this live stream up. Matter of fact, make sure everything is up and running on the other platforms up. Make sure everything is up and running on the other platforms. Let me see here. We live streaming on Rumble, but I don't know. Let me check my Rumble stream. I'm not gonna rush y'all. It's 3 o'clock in the morning where I am, West Coast time, Mountain Standard Time. So I'm just chilling, man. I ain't rushing, man. It's the weekend. It's what, Saturday already. Let me make sure, cause Rumble been tripping, man. Rumble has been tripping. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know. Rumble's still tripping, man. But yeah, we gotta talk about TASHA K, man. TASHA K over here talking crazy about foundational Black Americans, and you know what I'm saying, we can't have that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to, try to be a leader of FBA, because FBA has no leader. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the major misconceptions about the term foundational Black American is, there are people who have large platforms that speak to primarily only foundational Black American information and knowledge and issues. And because these people have large platforms, they become targeted. Sorry, y'all. I'm just making some adjustments on the fly here. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, So because these people have large platforms, they become targeted, you know what I'm saying? And then they get put in the place of a, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X or, you know, Minister Louis Farrakhan. And, you know, it's not right. That's not right, because that's like, you know, let's just say you have a country, right? And then within that country, you have a country by the name of Mexico, right? And then within that country, you have Mexicans, right? See, Mexicans actually are a relatively new nation and a relatively new group of people. Mexicans weren't always Mexicans. You see what I'm saying? And so that would be when people are talking about FBA, people with large platforms are talking about FBA, talking about the issues going on in America. It's similar to a Mexican that has a large following on social media that's just speaking about Mexican issues. Just because a Mexican person has a lot of followers on a platform, that doesn't make them the leader of Mexican people. So I just find it funny that you have all of these other groups of people who, you know, they create platforms, you know, whether they're Latino, they're Asian, right? And they create these large platforms to bring awareness for social issues pertaining to their group of people, or, you know, pertaining to how maybe the government is misrepresenting them, or the government is mistreating them, or, you know, there's a particular group of social issues going on within that group of people. And, you know, for those other groups of people, there's not you don't get the Latino leader, you don't get the Asian leader, you don't get the African leader, right? But if a Black American, you know, a foundational Black American starts a social media, you know, page, and they get, you know, 100,000 subs, 300,000 subs, and they start speaking on, you know, injustices. You know, we start talking about things like reparations. We start talking about things like delineation away from the Africans. We start talking about, you know, how to, you know, get a better economy in the foundational Black American community. And just because you're one person making a lot of noise, it's like, oh, now you're a leader, right? And see, here's the thing. See, I feel like I could speak on the FBA thing really well, because, you know, I'm Black mixed with Black. You know, for those of y'all that don't know, you know, I'm Trinidadian and I'm FBA. My father's Trinidadian, my mother's FBA. You know, so I was raised in a Trinidadian and an FBA household. You know, my grandparents raised me the majority of my early life. My Trinidadian grandparents. You know, and then on the weekends I would go with my mother. You know what I'm saying? The FBA side. And then as I got a little bit older into my later adolescent years and teen years, that's when I actually started living with my mother. So, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, growing up, I actually got to experience the best of Blackness, you know what I'm saying? The best of both worlds. So I can understand, you know, I guess you could say non-FBA perspectives, and I can definitely understand FBA perspectives, because I'm both. You know what I'm saying? I'm in both worlds, you know? So yeah, we're going to be talking about this situation with Tasha K. But make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure, I see we got a few people in the building. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Like I said, I might not even leave the stream up. My computer's running a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? So slowly but surely working my way back into the algorithm. You feel what I'm saying? But make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I start from the ground and then I slowly work my way up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I do. Start from one person, then 10 people. That's what it was. It's like one person used to watch me, then 10 people started to watch me. Then I had 100 people started watching, 200 people. You feel me? But yeah, man, I mess around and I actually got banned from YouTube for a little while, and that really slowed down my momentum. You know what I'm saying? I was banned from YouTube for 4 months. I knew it was a possibility that I could get banned. You know what I'm saying? So it was all good. You know what I'm saying? So YouTube, this was in January, like December of last year, January of this year. So what happened? So I think it was December, I got a 30-day, like mid-December, I got a 30-day ban, a 30-day live streaming ban, because I was actually streaming a boxing match on YouTube via Netflix. It was the damn, I can't remember. It was Jake Paul and Joshua Anthony. It was Jake Paul and Joshua Anthony. And the funny thing is, I had it set up so that the content couldn't be detected, but I think somebody might have reported the stream or something happened. And the next thing you know, I was banned. Like, YouTube literally came in the middle of that, like right when I was about to end the live stream, and shut my whole computer shut down. YouTube didn't shut down. YouTube shut down my whole computer. My whole computer turned black. I got 3 screens. All this stuff turned black. You know what I'm saying? And then I restarted my computer, and then when I tried to get back on YouTube was like, we blocked your account. You can't stream for 30 days. And then when the 30-day ban was up, then I had a 90-day ban for streaming Netflix content on YouTube. So that was about 4 months. So I'm really just now getting back onto YouTube as of like March, April of this year. And then I just really haven't had time to do any streaming or anything of that nature. But we here tonight. And like I said, or should I say this morning, you know what I'm saying? And good morning to everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 a.m. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I see we got people checking in. We got people watching, but y'all not really hitting that like button though. I really need y'all. The super chats, don't worry. I'm gonna start begging and asking y'all for donations, you know, sooner or later. But right now I got to get back into the algorithm. And the only way I can get back into the algorithm is by being consistent and by having y'all hit the like button when y'all come into the live stream. All right. So again, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. All right. So you get the notification every time I go live, and hit the like button, because if you hit the like button, then what that does is that pushes the stream into the algorithm, and it just lets more people come into the stream. You dig? Shout out to Bridget in the building. What's going on, Bridget? What's up with you? Hold on, let me check something right quick. I got to get some more. I'm probably just gonna have to get a new computer altogether. Something that's a little bit faster. Let's see here. Something that's a little bit faster so I can manage everything a little bit quicker. Let me see, Bridget, you over on let's see, you over on 864. Yeah, so we streaming on 864 TV on YouTube. We're streaming on 864 Zone 864 Live on YouTube. We're streaming on Lounge 864 on YouTube. That's one of my newest channels. Let me see here. Give me 1 second, y'all. We gonna get into the content, man. We gonna get into the content in 1 second here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Like I said, anyway, hit that like button. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's see what Tasha K talking about. All right, y'all, hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Let's go.
That. But no, I got a question the other day from a gentleman that entered my TikTok live, and he said, Tasha, what do you think about the FBA movement? I said, oh, you're trying to get me in trouble. He said, no, I just want to know what you think about it. I said, you know I can't speak on that. He goes, well, why not? I said, because my kids are African. My children are African. My grandfather is Bahamian. Why would I speak on the foundational Black American movement? That's not even my platform. But see, we have in our community, we have these groups, these subgroups, these leaders that just ordain themselves. And they come out here and they spew what y'all call knowledge to empower Black people and foundation.
Yes, that's right. We do have foundation people, you know, in this good old United States of America that are very knowledgeable about Black American history, about foundational Black American history. And yes, it is part of their duty. In fact, it's actually part of all of our duty to make sure that the information gets out there so that, you know, those that come after us understand the times that we're in right now, and they understand the future, and then they understand the past as well. So yes, you are going to have people who speak up against the fact that when you go to a lot of our museums around the country, the fact that they are purposely removing foundational Black American history out of these museums. So yeah, you are going to have people like, you know, Tariq Nasheed and others who have a very big amount of knowledge on FBA history. Yeah, you're going to have people like that speak up because they should. Because if Nick Fuentes is going to speak up about the bullshit that he wants to speak up about, then why can't we speak up about our Black American history, our foundational Black American history in America? If Myron Gaines, right, from Fetch and Fit, can come over here from Sudan and try to demean Black American people with his slimy ass platform, then why can't we use our voice and our knowledge to spread awareness and to spread information about our history? Because it's very clear at this point that people have a problem with the term foundational Black American, and people have an issue when foundational Black Americans begin to gain knowledge and gain wisdom and gain an understanding about ourselves in America. Let's go.
Foundational Black Americans to help aid us into being a better version of knowing ourselves, knowing that we're Hebrew. Even though your lineage could come from South Africa or Liberia, or hell, your lineage may come from Jamaica, it may come from Latin America. You don't damn know. But I feel like that's where we go wrong as a people, is always looking up to somebody and wanting to be like somebody else. And a lot of us don't get to know our best selves because there's a version of somebody else that we want to be. And so to the gentleman that asked me about that, and to the woman who said this, let me let you hear what she said, and then I'm gonna get into this young Pharaoh stuff, because this is a good segue into the young Pharaoh topic real quick.
Fair
Let me
use,
pull it
by
up.
the way. Fair use.
You don't have the video, Jasmine. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna pull it up. Because I just couldn't believe the audacity. And I said, you know what? At first I wasn't gonna cover these topics, but I said, no, I'm gonna cover it. I sure am. I have to, because y'all got me fucked up out here.
And by the way, if y'all are hearing some hissing in the background, that's not me. That is on Tasha K's end. So she got something going on with her mic, but that's not me. That's on her end. All right, let's go.
Here. Oh, y'all do. Y'all think that 3 year in the 9th grade dig is something that I'm not proud of. I'm proud of because I educate myself, is what I do. Hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all. I know she ain't take it down. Hold on. Give me a second, Jasmine. Go to commercial real quick. Go to commercial. We'll be right back, and I'll be ready for you. Let's go. Hold on. Stress of nursing.
All right, so that was the beginning of the conversation, right? So that was the beginning of the conversation where she's heating up. You know what I'm saying? She's about to talk about FBA. So let me see here. Let's move a little bit forward. All right, here we go.
Somebody else that we want to be. And so to the gentleman that asked me about that, and to the woman who said this, let me let you hear what she said, and then I'm gonna get into this young Pharaoh stuff, because this is a good segue into the young Pharaoh topic real quick. Let me pull it up. You don't have the video, Jasmine. Don't you worry. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna pull it up. Because I just couldn't believe the audacity. And I said, you know what? At first I wasn't gonna cover these topics, but I said, no, I'm gonna cover it. I sure am. I have to, because y'all got me fucked up out here. Oh, y'all do. Y'all think that 3 year in the 9th grade dig is something that I'm not proud of. I'm proud of because I educate myself.
Did she say she spent 3 years in the 9th grade? I thought that's what I heard. I hope she didn't spend 3 years in the 9th grade. If so, that's crazy. I can understand if you spend 3 years in the 12th grade, but 3 years in the 9th grade is insane. Let's go.
It's what I do. Hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all. I know she ain't take it down. Hold on. Give me a second, Jasmine. Go to commercial real quick. We'll be right back, and I'll be ready for you. Let's go. Hold on. Stress of nursing shortages in.
Wait a minute. Damn, I thought. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Sorry, y'all. That was my bad, man. I'm over here clicking the wrong time marks, man. Let's see here.
At Purdue Global, we know that after your service, the mission changes.
Parents can be those heroes to their kids.
And I do know my name gets brought up a lot, when it.
Let me see. And Bridget is saying, this is vertical. Do you have a horizontal? Yeah, Bridget, you got to go to, there should be a vertical. There should be a vertical stream on the same channel you on. So if you back out of this stream on Zone 864 Live, it should be it's 2 streams going at one time. I guess the one at the very top, if you click that, it should bring you into the vertical stream. If you, for some reason, if you can't find it on Zone 864 Live, come over to Zone 864 TV, and you'll be able to see the landscape. You'll be able to see the landscape on Zone 864 TV. But if you back out of vertical on Zone 864 Live, you should be able to see it the very first stream. I'm actually in it right now. I'm actually in it right now on my phone. So yeah, the non-vertical stream should be up and running as well.
It comes to this, what does Tasha stand for? Who does she look up to? Who is her God? Is what I get. Okay. And so when Charleston White had brought up that a lot of our little girls should look up to a Clarissa and want to be a Clarissa, you know, I have to respectfully disagree, because that's why a lot of our young girls are lost now, because they don't know themselves and too busy trying to follow everyone else. And so when I was on TikTok Live the other day, and I was asked about FBA and what I thought about it, and I said, you know, I can't talk about that, because that would be me talking against my own kids, me talking against my grandfather.
And see, here's the thing. She's proven a point right here, because when somebody, let's just say you're non-FBA, right? Let's just say you're non-FBA. If somebody else that is non-FBA, or somebody that is FBA, is asking you, what do you think about the FBA movement? Here's the thing. You don't have to say anything negative. You would only say something negative about the FBA movement if you think negatively of the FBA movement. It's perfectly okay to say that you don't, when somebody asks you a question, it's perfectly okay to say, I don't know enough about the situation. I don't know enough about this movement. I don't know enough about, you know, what they do, or who they are, or when it started, or you know, where these people came from. It's okay to say that you don't know. You don't have to act, or you don't have to be a person that knows every answer to every question that is asked of you. And so this is right away, that's where she's starting off on the wrong foot, because somebody asked her about the FBA movement, but the only, I guess you could say, view that she has of it is a negative view, right? But anyway, let's go.
My family. But here's the response, because they were trying to set me up. But here's their response to me not answering the question. And then I'm a respond to this. Okay, so here we go. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
Now, I wondered this for myself.
Hold on. Damn it. Why does she have Erykah Badu in the background? Okay. I ain't gonna play it. So here's the thing. They called my husband an African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher.
Okay, so let's stop it right there. All right. So first of all, if we being real, right? Now, I understand that us as FBAs, we used to use that term African booty scratcher in the 90s, right? And maybe even the early 2000s, but the term African booty scratcher, that was a joke. That was a roast joke from the 90s. So first of all, ain't nobody really calling Africans African booty scratcher like that in 2026. So first of all, this is what I feel like, right? I feel like she's pulling, and see, this is how far back she has to go to try to make it seem like FBA culture is demeaning to African culture, because she had to go 30 years prior to pull up the most known African roast joke, the most known FBA African roast joke. She noticed, right? She can't think of anything from the 2010s, the 20 teens, right? FBA don't really be calling Africans African booty scratcher like that in 2026. We just don't. It just faded. You know what I'm saying? It just faded like a lot of trendy words do. See what I'm saying? Let's go.
Which they're entitled to their opinion. That's fine. That's totally fine. But here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with young Pharaoh, Brother Polite. Okay,
now let me stop you right there. The FBA movement has nothing to do with young Pharaoh. Now, could young Pharaoh be an FBA? Could he be in the lineage of FBA? He absolutely could. Now, I'm familiar with young Pharaoh. I've watched a lot of his content over the years when he was on YouTube. I ain't never really heard young Pharaoh talk about FBA lineage. All I heard was young Pharaoh talk about pyramids, the Egyptians, ancient Kemet, ancient Africa, the Middle East, and you know what I mean, all of these old crazy rituals that he do, and you know, all of this weird information regarding aliens and stuff like that. That's what young Pharaoh does. Young Pharaoh has nothing to do with the FBA movement. And this is why I'm doing this live stream, which I probably might delete. But this is why I'm talking about this, because when people like Tasha K spew misinformation, it's up to us knowledgeable people to correct the misinformation so that we don't have a bunch of numbskulls out here believing that young Pharaoh is the face of a movement, which he's not. Let's go.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
Okay, Dr. Umar Johnson has nothing to do with FBA. Could Dr. Umar Johnson be of an FBA lineage? He probably could be of FBA lineage, although I think he's probably, I think he might be like Ghanaian or something, because I think Dr. Umar be spending a lot of time in Africa and stuff like that. So Dr. Umar is more of like a Pan-African type dude, if you ask me. I ain't never really seen him claim FBA. I ain't never really seen him champion the FBA movement, the FBA lineage. But I have been seeing him talk a lot about Africa and saying we're all Africans and stuff like that. So I'm throwing this out here right now. Dr. Umar has nothing to do. He could be in the FBA lineage, but he's not the face of the FBA lineage movement. All right. Dr. Umar is somewhere, you know, doing his own thing. FBA ain't got nothing to do with Dr. Umar. All right. Strike two.
All of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay, that I guess guide you to help elevate your consciousness in these movies. Even Tariq Nasheed, ain't his wife like half white or something?
Okay, let's stop it right there. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So what if Tariq Nasheed's wife is half white? She's FBA. You don't, both parents don't have to be FBA for you to be FBA. I just told y'all at the beginning of the stream, my father's Trinidadian, my mother's FBA. I'm FBA. Sometimes I even call myself the Trinidadian FBA because it has a slight ring to it. You see what I'm saying? So you can have a white mama or a white dad and the other parent be FBA, and that's still going to make you FBA. Now, of course, you're still going to be biracial, but if you have one FBA parent, that brings you in the FBA lineage. So the fact that Tariq Nasheed has a wife that is mixed with white, that doesn't make her not an FBA. And see what I'm saying? Like, this is what uneducated people like Tasha K do. They turn on their mics and they spew a bunch of bullshit because either, you know, in the case of Tasha K, either they are feminist, maybe they hate men, maybe they hate black men, you know, or maybe they just trying to say shit that's going to get them a bunch of likes and views, and they're trying to say things to contradict, kind of like COINTELPRO. It's kind of like they're an agent purposely trying to contradict information that is making its way into the masses to basically wake people up to understand who they really are. So when people like TASHA K or Stephen A. Smith, you know, or whoever says something that's not right regarding FBA or anything else, it is up to us to put the information out there to counteract the bullshit that they say. And it doesn't matter if Tyreek is a black man who's married to a wife that is half white and half FBA, because she's still FBA because one of her parents is FBA. Let's go.
Ain't Tariq Nasheed wife like half white? But here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK.
Yeah. And see, that's what I really have a problem with, because tell me what foundational black American group of people have burned down whole white communities? What foundational group of people have terrorized whole white communities, neighborhoods, schools, businesses? What foundational black society community has dropped bombs on foundational black American historic towns like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street? What foundational black American group of people have purposely burst open dams so that the water runs from these dams and into these black neighborhoods, leaving these historic black neighborhoods underwater? And now they're lakes, aka Lake Lanier and other lakes throughout the country. When you can, TASHA K and other detractors, when you guys can give me the examples of how FBA, foundational black American people, have terrorized America the way that the KKK has, then we can actually sit down at the table and have a real discussion. But for TASHA K to sit there and say that that foundational black Americans are like the KKK is completely out of line. It's completely inappropriate. I mean, and it's obvious that she's an agent of chaos. She doesn't care what she says. She doesn't care about spewing misinformation that's dangerous and harmful to black people, especially black people that actually give a damn about their society, their community, and their own group of people, especially foundational black American people that wake up every single day trying to improve certain elements of the foundational black American society in America to make it better for the next generation. So for TASHA K to sit there and say that foundational black Americans are the new KKK is totally out of line. And I heard that TASHA K lost thousands of subscribers after she said that bullshit too, which was well deserved. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, let me see. Was that it? We got some more? Yeah, we got a little bit more.
Meant to divide, meant to separate.
And that's not true. Foundational, the term FBA is not meant to divide. The term FBA is the same as Cherokee. It's the same as Navajo. It's the same as the Indian tribes that have the name of their tribe. It's not meant to divide. It's meant to classify. It's meant to classify and it's meant to unify. just like any other group of people. And like I said, you can have a Mexican, start a YouTube channel, get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they want to talk about the issues that a Mexican has in America, right? And they don't get called a leader. But if a foundational Black American starts a YouTube channel and is consistently talking about the issues that foundational Black Americans face in America, now all of a sudden, oh, you're a leader, you're a target. And the reason that they do that is because they don't want foundational black men and Black women to sound the alarm. That's why they do that. They do that because they feel like every time a foundational Black man or Black woman opens his or her mouth to spew some knowledge and to give some information, it's going to get us one step closer to reparations. It's going to help us wake up one more person. And they're afraid of that. They don't like that. And Tasha K is one of those people.
Separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you and hating them for no reason. That is the same.
And see, here's the thing. Foundational Black Americans don't hate Africans. Foundational Black Americans might be upset at Africans because it was the Africans that sold, and this is not all, but it was the Africans that sold what we are now as foundational Black Americans. It was the Africans that sold off their ancestors to the slave owners, and then the slave owners made their way on over to the Caribbean and to South America, and then eventually to America. So yes, foundational, I believe that maybe the anger and hatred are two different things. There are a lot of foundational Black American people that are upset with the Africans that they did that. Now, just so we're clear, foundational Black Americans were already in what we know as North America, right? And this is why some foundational Black Americans, this is why you have, Ghanaian in your blood, or Nigerian, or, Kenyan, or, whatever type of African DNA that you have, because here's the thing, you may have an ancestor, and see, one thing that we have to acknowledge as foundational Black Americans is that some of us actually have African blood in our DNA and some of us don't. So I just say that you just have to be careful, because here's the thing. You have, foundational Black Americans that were already in America when, I guess you could say, the slave ships arrived, the first African slave ships arrived. They were already procreating with what we would say Indian Americans, the Cherokee and the Navajo, the tribal indigenous people that, have Indian reservations and casinos. There was already breeding and mixing going on. Now, when you bring Africans into the mix, see, now you're bringing a group of people from one land to a new land, and you're literally creating a whole new bloodline. So this is why, you will hear a foundational Black American say, I don't have any Africans in my family, or I don't have any African DNA. That may be true. But what we have to be careful of is that not all of us, there's a lot of us that actually have African in your DNA. And just because you have African in your DNA, that doesn't make you not a foundational Black American. So we just have to be careful of that. Bridget says in the chat, I think Africans are against FBA. I would say that some Africans are against FBA because they think that a lot of Africans look at FBA as a lower class of people, a lower group of people. Because here's the thing, a lot of Africans, those of us that didn't have our ancestors sold off into slavery, well, a lot of those Africans, they don't have ancestors that were slaves. And so because, a person like myself, on my mother's side, like I said, on my father's side, I'm Trinidadian, but on my mother's side, I'm FBA. I'm born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, although I don't really have the accent like that because a lot of my family, I was raised with a lot of my family from New York. So I talk like how I was raised around. Shout out to Luna Wolf in the building. So I know that I have slavery in my family. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from, a state that obviously is rich in slave history and United States history and Black history. You see what I'm saying? And from what I understand, my family actually migrated from lower state South Carolina to upstate South Carolina, which is where I was born, in Greenville, South Carolina, in the upstate, which is about 3 hours away from Atlanta. It's about 2 hours away from Charlotte. So it's right in between there. But yeah, a lot of Africans don't like FBA because they look at us as weak because we had ancestors that were cotton pickers. And this is where you get the term Akata and all of these insults that they call Black Americans because we had ancestors who were slaves and who were cotton pickers. And so a lot of Africans look at themselves as royalty compared to a Black American who more than likely originated out of slavery in America. And I will go on record and say that I'm proud of my foundational Black American ancestors who were slaves. I'm very proud of them for enduring so that I could be here and so that we could be here thriving and carrying on their legacy generations later. I will never put down my ancestors that were slaves. I will never dishonor the sacrifices that they made in order for us to have the freedoms and the liberties and for us to be able to carry forth our bloodline. On my watch, I'm never going to allow that. You can never have a conversation with me and disrespect my ancestors that were slaves. And this is why I said I can understand the FBA conversation real good. Because I do have a lot of, like I said, on my father's side, I do have family which is the Trinidadian side. I do have family that will say they're not Black, they're Trinidadian. Whereas I grew up in the United States knowing that I'm a Black man, even though I'm Trinidadian, because I know that white supremacy sees me as a Black man. They don't see me when they pull me over. They don't see a Trinidadian. They don't see a Triniman. They see Zone. They see a Black American. They don't care what my name is. They see a Negro. And because I understand that, I'm never not gonna rep my FBA side, because I understand that white supremacy sees me as a Negro, sees me as a nigger, really. So and the strength and the energy of my ancestors is strong. Sometimes when I'm not feeling the best, I'm going to rely on that energy to pick me up, because I know that what they had to go through, and I know that what they endured was 1,000 times worse than anything I'm going through today. So if they can make it through slavery and make it through segregation and all of the bullshit that they went through, then I damn well better get it together and pick my head up and move the torch forward. We have somebody in the chat that says the title has some truth. Let's see. So tell me. Oh man, you got a long name, man. Dav Malik. Tell me, what truth is in the title? What truth is in the title? Meanwhile, I'm gonna let this play some more.
Foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is
Absolutely not. That is absolutely false. The principles that FBA have, that we have, is not the same principles that the KKK had. As a matter of fact, let me read y'all some information right quick. Let me read y'all some information. Matter of fact, let me open up, see if I can open up another window here. Give me 1 second. Doing this on the fly. Let's see here. Bridget said the trolls control all they want. The trolls can say whatever they want to say. They ain't gonna stop this truth. and just because they disagree with what I say, it doesn't make what they say true. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't got nothing but time and opportunity. I'm not running away from no conversation and no discussion. Let me see here. Let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna wait for this to switch up here. I know it's a little bit behind. Okay, so it should be showing on YouTube now. So Tasha K said that the principles of the KKK is the same as foundational Black American. So as we can see right here, so right here, this is where I typed into Google, and I got some information back from AI. It says that the KKK is an American white supremacist hate group. FBA, Foundational Black American, is not a hate group. It says that the KKK is an American white supremacist hate group with a long history of violence and racial intimidation aimed at African Americans and other minority groups. Origin and early activity of the KKK. The KKK was established in 1865 in Pulaski, Tennessee by Confederate veterans following the American Civil War. Initially presented as a social club, as it quickly became a secret vigilante group aiming to restore white supremacy during Reconstruction by intimidating, assaulting, and murdering African Americans. Let me say that again. It started as a social club and became a secret vigilante group aiming to restore white supremacy during Reconstruction by intimidating, assaulting, and murdering African Americans and their allies, including white Republicans supportive of civil rights. It said that we already know that they wore white robes and stuff like that. So when I read that, tell me how is FBA the same as the KKK? FBA ain't started no secret, no type of, like, I guess you could say, black supremacy group and went around hanging white people on crosses and burning white neighborhoods down, white schools down, lynching white people, hanging white men and cutting off their private parts, hanging white women and cutting off their breasts, because that's what used to happen. So how is FBA the same as the KKK? Really, I mean, really. Foundational Black Americans have never oppressed any group in America. Not the Latinos, not the Asians, not the Indians from India, not even the Cherokee or the Navajo. Foundational Black Americans have never oppressed any group of people in America. Anyway, let's keep going.
Protecting their whiteness, their pureness, not knowing that they are not pure. It's a lie.
Imagine being able to.
Yeah, we got a quick commercial break. Hey man, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed.
And I don't get involved in these types of conversations because it's ridiculous.
No, ma'am, it's actually not ridiculous. It's actually much required learning, actually. It's actually much required learning. It's not ridiculous. And the reason that you can't even engage in conversations like this is because you're too stupid to listen and shut up when somebody's giving you information that could benefit you. All you want to do is talk about these little silly, gossipy topics. That's why you don't know anything. You spend too much time researching what goes on in Dr. Umar's bedroom. You spend too much time worrying about what Michael B. Jordan got going on. You spend too much time trying to see what scandals are going on. That's why you can't engage in conversation like this. Because you don't care to listen to information that's actually going to benefit you. You don't care to listen to information that's going to make you smarter. You don't care to listen to information that you could actually regurgitate your children, because I know damn well if they go into school in America, they ain't learning shit. Anyway, let's go.
It is very unintelligent to talk about, to even speak on, that I would deny my own children, my own grandfather, my own mother, just to protect what? A movement? Y'all.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. It's a lineage-based movement. I bet you when Black Lives Matter was a thing, she was championing Black Lives Matter. But all of a sudden, when it comes to FBA, Foundational Black American, oh, it's a hateful movement. It's harmful. They spew hatred. But when it's Black Lives Matter, oh, yay, there's black women that are at the head of the Black Lives Matter organization. And then you read the mission statement on the Black Lives Matter website, and it says specifically on there, we are here for the betterment of black people, and we are against the nuclear family. Now, it didn't say that verbatim, but that's basically what it said. We are here to fight the black struggle, and we are against the nuclear family. That's literally what they had in that mission statement. Literally. So how can you want to fight the black struggle, but you're against the nuclear family when the nuclear family is the foundation of black people in the black struggle? That doesn't make any sense. Black children in a single mother household are destined to fail. Black children in a foundational black father's household is probably destined to fail, but it's probably not going to fail as easy as if it's just the mother and children. Because let's be honest, fathers provide a better foundation and stability for children. But I say that because you're gonna need that mother and that father in the household together. Point blank, period. Those foundational black children, they're gonna need their foundational black father. They're gonna need their foundational black mother. Point blank, period. It's really not rocket science. End of discussion. And see, Black Lives Matter had everybody fooled, because Black Lives Matter came on the heels of Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland. And a list of countless uncalled black death by police brutality in America. But then when you go to the website, it says we are here to fight the black struggle, but we do not support black nuclear families. One of the greatest scams in American history, if you ask me. Let's go.
Y'all don't put food on my plate. Y'all don't pay none of my bills.
Actually, ma'am, we do pay your bills. The fact that I'm even watching your video right now, I'm actually helping you pay your bills. Because when we watch your video, guess what happens? These ads play on your video. And every time an ad plays on your video, you get what's called AdSense. So yes, ma'am, we actually do help you pay your bills. And by the way, most of your subscriber base is FBA. So actually, we are directly correlated with literally helping you pay your bills. We are literally directly correlated with helping you pay that $4 million to Cardi B. Because if it wasn't for foundational black Americans, you wouldn't have a platform to spew your nonsense on. You just wouldn't. It's not a bunch of Africans watching Tasha K. It's not a bunch of South Americans or Canadians or Mexicans watching Tasha K. Let's face it. It's primarily foundational black Americans watching Tasha K. Without foundational black Americans, Tasha K would probably be working at Walmart or driving a school bus or working at a local radio station in Florida without foundational black Americans. And this is a prime example of stupid people like Tasha K not speaking, not thinking before she speaks. Because that's just how stupid and arrogant that she is. Anyway, let's go.
Y'all sitting in living rooms with bonnets on, causing division because you angry, trying to be accepted no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city.
Now, first of all, here's the thing. I don't care if a chick is sitting in her living room, on Instagram and, creating posts. Because guess what? You're supposed to wear your bonnet in the living room. You're supposed to wear a bonnet indoors, not outdoors. And see what I'm saying? She just be saying shit. She don't even know what she be saying. So yes, a chick can be in her bedroom and have her bonnet on. She absolutely can. Because that's where she's supposed to have her bonnet on. Is in her bedroom. Talking shit. Not outside. And then let's hear what she gonna say. Hold on.
Taking each other out and crime. trying to be accepted no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city taking each other out over what? Just because you look different?
So first of all, here's the thing. This is just her spewing out nonsense. She ain't even really saying shit that's really like a got you moment. You know what I'm saying? Like she's saying any and everything. She's saying the first thing that comes to her mind because she's trying to get a got you moment. First of all, and I hate to say this, but a lot of those black children that's in Chicago, those are not Africans. The ones that's getting murdered and stuff like that with that gang violence, those are not Africans. You know how I know those are not Africans? Because gangs is not an African thing. Gangs is really that's more of a black American thing. I ain't never heard of no African gangs and stuff. Like they have African they have like these African political groups over in Africa that, you know, they go against the government and they cause war and they rebel, but gangs is not really an African thing like that. A lot of those young men that's getting killed in Chicago due to the gang violence is foundational black American men. And foundational black Americans have always been outspoken about how these certain parts of the government in certain cities, about how they allow this violence to go on because it's a way of social programming to lessen the foundational black American population. Shout out to Mitra in the chat over on the Zone 864 TV channel with I think it's the 99 cents with the jewels. I think I'm not really sure how to like say that, but I appreciate you, Mitra, and I hope that you have hit the like button, and I hope that you have hit the subscribe button as well. I would type in the chat, but if y'all can see this bootleg setup that I have right now, like I can see the chat in front of me, but I can't really type in the chat because I'm using an external program. So it doesn't, I can see the chat, but I have to sign in to actually get into the chat. And if y'all knew the hell that I had to go through to set up this live, because I don't use StreamYard, I don't use Restream, I use OBS. I use the real streaming shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might start using Restream because I tell you what though, like it took me a whole hour like to set up everything, man. I got like 6 streams going at one time. It's no joke. You have to, you know, when you use StreamYard and Restream, right? All you got to do is just hit the live button. But when you use OBS, you got to literally type in shit. You got to, you know, put in digital keys and all of this type of stuff to make sure it connects to the actual streaming site, YouTube or Rumble or Twitch. You got to do everything by hand. So, yeah. But yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, Luna Wolf saying, yeah, I'm known from Freezy. Shout out to Freezy. That's my guy, man. I've been knowing Freezy since 2021. So I've been knowing Freezy for 5 years, man. Me and Freezy used to go, we used to be on small panels and stuff, like only 20 people watching, man. We used to be on small panels and stuff, just chopping it up about random topics and music and stuff like that back in the day. But shout out to everybody in the No Cap crew, all right? And the VIP crew.
You said something, now we got adults actually doing this, which leads me to young Pharaoh, because a lot of people are shocked at his downfall.
So basically, she's done at this point. at this point, she's done talking about FBA. She's going to go into young Pharaoh. But let's see this young Pharaoh part real quick.
He elevated our consciousness.
Young Pharaoh did not elevate anyone's conscious. And if you feel like young Pharaoh elevated your conscious, I feel sorry for you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if young Pharaoh, if you feel like young Pharaoh elevated your consciousness as an adult, I feel bad for you. Because anybody watching young Pharaoh could clearly see that nigga was high out of his mind. And yeah, he was saying some interesting shit, but you knew that he was saying any and everything to try to get those super chats and cash apps. Shout out to Luna with the $2 holla. She's saying not much, but want to support good topic. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something, Luna. I appreciate that $2 holla. You know why I appreciate that $2 holla? Because it came from you. You could have kept that in your wallet, your purse, could have kept that on the dresser, but I appreciate that because it came from you. All right? Appreciate it. Let's go.
Said that black women, he couldn't stand black women, even though he preached that the black woman was the God. I don't even know where he got that from. That's a whole nother conversation there. And I'm not about to preach and unwind that here today. That's not why.
So first of all, let's get something right. Eve was black. Adam was black. Jesus was black. There's a reason that the black woman can give birth to any color of skin that walks this planet. See, when a baby comes out of a Latino woman's womb or a white woman's womb, see, it ain't, we already know how that baby's gonna come out. But a baby can come out of a black woman's womb and that baby could be albino, real light with blonde hair, still be black. Or that baby can come out real dark and obviously is black. The black woman is the only woman on the planet that can give birth to any shade of skin. White woman can't do it. Asian woman can't do it. The Latin woman can't do it. Only the black woman can. And this is, I'm not trying to say that a certain group of people are better, this, that, and the third, but there's a reason that only a black woman could produce the variety of life. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that the mayonnaise woman can't do it. There's a reason why the ramen noodle woman can't do it. There's a reason why the spicy burrito woman can't do it. There's a reason. Let's go.
I'm here. What I'm here about is the problem with our people, and why we don't get ahead is because we do not take self-responsibility for self. We're always looking at people like this that fall 2 steps short behind us and ride short.
Tasha K, where was your responsibility and self-accountability when you were telling lies and spewing false claims about Cardi B and talking about her children? Where was your self-dignity and your self-respect when you were talking about Cardi B? Because clearly you didn't have any. Because clearly if you did, you wouldn't have got sued and had to pay Cardi B $4 million. So how you gonna sit your Campbell soup looking ass up on Beyonce's internet and try to preach about accountability and self-respect and look at yourself first. When you one of the main ones out here talking shit about everybody every day, you don't say nothing that's positive. You don't say nothing that's beneficial to nothing. You literally make your money talking shit about everybody else. And yet you want to sit up here on the internet and talk about accountability, respect, look at yourself before you talk about somebody else. Where was your respect? What was your respect when you was talking about Cardi B?
Buses to educate us, to make us feel wanted, FBA, and push others out for no reason at all.
So first of all, it's not even the fact that FBA are pushing others out. Africans are not FBA. Africans are not foundational Black American. A lot of Africans, like I said, a lot of Africans don't even have any history of slavery in their family. A lot of Africans, their ancestors never had to deal with white supremacy in America. A lot of Africans have never had to deal and try and thrive in a system of white supremacy because they've gotten to stay over in Africa and they were never removed from their homeland. So, but here's the thing, right? You have the Germans, right? You have the Germans. You have the Italians. You have the Russians. You have the Ukrainians, right? And the reason that I'm saying all of these names, right, is because you have all of these different groups of people, right? But whenever the Black Americans in America are galvanizing, because we're beginning to understand who we are as a collective, and the same way that other groups galvanize in America, whether it's around politics or whether it's around, land, or whether it's around whatever social issue is going on. Whenever other groups are galvanizing, no one says anything about it. But when Black Americans are beginning to unify and we're beginning to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and then we're coining terms to be able to have a better language to communicate, it's a problem. But when everybody else is calling themselves, when Jamaicans are coming over here calling themselves Jamaican Americans, Trinidadians are coming over to America saying, I'm a Trinidadian American. Haitians are coming over here from Haiti saying, I'm Haitian American. Dominicans are coming over here saying that they're Dominican American or whatever. That's not a problem. But when those of us that come from the Black American descendants of slaves, when we begin to get on code and we begin to talk about and address the issues that plague us here in America, and we begin to find ways to combat white supremacy, and we begin to form our own system, it's a problem. And give me 1 second, y'all. Let me handle some business right quick. Let me beef up my security. gotta beef up my security, just, you know what I'm saying, for when the trolls come through. But anyway, yeah, like I said, when foundational Black Americans begin to get on code in America, it's a problem. But when everybody else want to get on code, nobody else want to say anything. Oh, they're just, you know, they're doing what they do. You know, oh, they're planning on how to take care of their people. They're just doing what they do. But when foundational Black Americans say, we want better healthcare, we want better schools, we need to start, you know, we need to start trying to create our own STEM academies in our own community centers, in our own neighborhoods, like in our own businesses and all of that. Well, when foundational Black Americans try to do that, then you have Tasha K or Stephen A. Smith or someone who wants to try to be in the mix to try to throw that, to try to interrupt progress. It's crazy and it's mighty strange, man.
And then when they fall from grace, now all of a sudden the government got them. Look at young Pharaoh on TikTok. He on TikTok live right now. But look at him. Y'all lost your damn mind.
Get a little feet the Holy Ghost, and this is serious, seriously. I'm out that shit holy right now with them sneakers on, swag, brother. It is what it is. I'm in Detroit. What's up? I'm getting ready to go back to the cribs. Stream on Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you stream on.
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, here's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, young Pharaoh, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what's going on with young Pharaoh, but that looks crazy. That looks crazy. This nigga got on some type of fingernails or some shit. That looks crazy. But sometimes it is the government, though. Sometimes it is the government, man. Don't try to make this nigga young Pharaoh some type of leader in the FBA movement, because he's not, he ain't no leader, and he ain't never been a leader. He's just a weird nigga talking online, talking about aliens and spaceships and shit. But anyway, I think let me see. She's saying something else.
With Battlefront 2, hop on, hop off, because that's what's about to happen. With that being said, I see y'all. Just love y'all, appreciate y'all. It's the Holy Ghost, bro.
Play me another video. Give me one more, Jasmine. This young Pharaoh now. This is the one y'all dragged me over. This is, huh? With the nails. This is the one y'all didn't remember when I interviewed young Pharaoh?
Anyway, I think she's done. I think she's done talking about young Pharaoh, man. I don't want to see that shit, man. I don't want to see that ish. But yeah, man. So that's what she had to say about foundational Black Americans. So, of course, like I said, you can't sit up there. You can't sit up there and talk greasy about foundational Black Americans when foundational Black Americans is the primary supporter base for your channels and whatever other side businesses you got going on. The same way that you can't talk crazy about Jewish people, or, you know, you can't talk crazy about white women, right? You can't talk crazy about certain groups of people because they will pull their support away from you, right? And like I said, Tasha K has lost thousands. I heard she lost like 30,000 subscribers after she said that FBA is like the KKK bullshit. So of course, she went to splaining. Of course, she went to splaining. And this is what she said. This is what she said for her apology, right? So we heard everything she said against FBA and about what she believes that FBA is. And look at her looking like Huckleberry Finn. You know what I'm saying? Looking crazy. Let's hear what she had to say. Tasha K apologizes for the comments that she made about FBA.
To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended, I didn't mean to offend you. I don't do that. I want any and everybody to be up in here having a good time. Lately, on social media, given the Nolan Wells situation, I mean, just any and everything that has to
R.I.P. Nolan Wells.
do with our culture, our people, blacks as a whole. For some reason, I have been dragged into these conversations. So yesterday's show, had me fired up because to refer to my family, and I get it, everybody has, they say any and everything about my family, but to see, I guess, them say that I don't somehow care.
Well, first of all, any and everybody is going to say any and everything about your family because all you do is talk shit about everybody else's family. All you do is talk shit about, what I'm saying? Like when people are dealing with situations, all you do is talk about bullshit. And all you do is try to embarrass people all day, every day. So why wouldn't people talk shit about you and your family? Because that's all you do is you talk shit about everybody else in their family. So yeah, people should talk shit about you and your family. It's sad that you would put that kind of energy out there knowing that you got kids that got to walk around. You see what I'm saying? But the energy that you put out is the energy you're going to get back in return.
About my people because I married an African man. To refer to me and my platform or my husband as booty scratcher. Now he laughed about it. It's fine. But for me, I don't know, that hit different because I got a son. And to see our own black people like, that's cool. That's cool. So here's the thing. And everybody's entitled. But here's the thing. I didn't have to react that way because at the end of the day, when I get up here, whether I make $1 or not, and I was unmonetized on this platform for a long time. To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, I wholeheartedly apologize. All I saw was divisiveness, and I saw a group of people attacking me, attacking my family. So I attacked back. So I'm grateful to my winos that are on the app that are educating me.
Shout out to one of the OGs in this YouTube space, Gerald Jokes. What's going on, G-Man? Yes, sir. It's definitely been a hot minute. Good to see you.
That are emailing me, that are apologizing for, I guess, the few bad actors that are out there. But when you do Google it, that's all that comes up. Divisiveness. I don't know who's representing y'all's lineage or our lineage because.
And see, here's the thing. This is what people keep getting wrong. It's not about what is, this is what, and see, this is what ticks me off about black people like her. Not all black people like Tasha K. There is no one if you were to go to Mexico, in the land of the Mexicans, do the Mexicans have a president? Yes, the Mexicans have a president, but there is no one leader of a Mexican lineage. There is no one person. There is no one leader of a lineage. There is no one leader of German lineage. There is no one leader of Italian lineage. There is no one leader of Ghanaian lineage, Nigerian lineage, Kenyan lineage, Brazilian lineage. There is no one person. It's a group. It's lineage based. Everyone that's of a particular lineage is of that lineage. That's what she's not understanding. Just because Tariq Nasheed got, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and supporters online, that doesn't make somebody like a Tariq Nasheed a leader of a lineage just because he has hundreds of thousands of supporters and subscribers that like his content regarding foundational Black American. That doesn't make when that's just like saying that Michael Jackson was the leader of Black people, because Michael Jackson is probably the most famous Black person that ever walked the planet face of the earth. Michael Jackson is probably the most famous Black person that has ever walked the face of the earth. No one has ever said Michael Jackson is our Black leader. Michael Jackson is our leader. Black people have never claimed Michael Jackson as their leader. But all of a sudden, when a person is like, I'm foundational Black American, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, now you're a leader. Now they and again, this is where you have to be careful, because this is part of the playbook. What they do is they try to make you a leader, or they say that you're a leader, to try to elevate you within the profile of the FBI, to try to make you a target and eventually get you assassinated, or to try to get you incarcerated, or to try to get you caught up in some type of fraud. This is what they do. Anybody that is, in particularly if you're a foundational Black American, that's what they do. Oh, this Negro's talking. We need to put a case on him and shut him up. That's what they do. Let's go.
I'm from America. I was born here. My mom was born here. One thing that bothers me is when I see Black on Black, like racism.
I wouldn't necessarily call Black on Black racism. I would just call it maybe hatred. I would maybe call it prejudice. I don't know if you could necessarily be racist to your own kind. I mean, I guess you could, but I wouldn't characterize the FBA delineation from Africans as Black on Black crime, because you know why? Because a lot of Africans don't even claim the word Black. They will say, oh, I'm Ghanaian, I'm Kenyan, I'm Nigerian, I'm South American, I'm, Igbo, or, whatever it is. So a lot of Africans, and not just Africans. Like I said, I have a lot of people on my Trini side, on my Trinidadian side, that will say they're Trinidadian before they will say that they're Black. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you're not Black. You're a brown man. Yes, I'm brown, but I'm Black. You know why I'm Black? Because the white supremacists don't like Blacks. So I'm going to be whatever they don't like. Let me, let's see here. What other information did I have? What other information did I have? Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I had some other information regarding the KKK, but let me hold on. Let me pull up one other thing here. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Oh, what did I do? Okay, over here just clicking random shit. Lucky ain't had no titties on the screen. Anyway, let's see here. Let me pull up. Make sure y'all hit that like button too, man. Appreciate everybody that came through to hit that like button, man. Appreciate everybody that donated too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use that. Probably go buy me a little fish sandwich or something. You know what I'm saying? A little fish sandwich. Put some mayonnaise on that joint, some tartar sauce. You feel what I'm saying? Didn't you know? Didn't you know? Okay. So just a little bit of history before we get ready to get out of here. Okay, so what is foundational Black American? Foundational Black Americans are descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States who trace their lineage to the earliest Black communities that helped build the nation. Foundational Black Americans and Black Americans whose ancestry can be traced directly to enslaved Africans brought to the United States. And again, all of us were not brought here, all right? Rather than the more recent African or Caribbean immigrants. Let's see, it says here, to be considered FBA, at least one parent must come from a non-immigrant background in the U.S., and lineage is often verified through historical records such as the 1870 or 1900 U.S. Census. This lineage-based designation emphasizes a direct connection to the Black Americans who endured slavery and contributed to the nation's early development. So that is a more concise definition, because again, Tasha K tried to throw some shots at Tariq Nasheed, claiming, saying that his wife is half white. So what? Who cares if his wife is half white? She has one parent that's FBA. She's FBA. And see, here's the funny thing, right? I find it funny that Tasha K, sits there and she tries to say that Tariq Nasheed's wife is half white. But here's the thing. She can be half white all she wants to. You know what the white supremacists see her as? A Negro, a Black woman, foundational Black woman. That's what they see her as. Doesn't matter that his wife is half white. But yeah, that's probably gonna do it for the stream, man. That's really all I wanted to showcase And actually, while I got my system up and running, let me hold on. I'm finna test. I'm finna test this other screen out here. 1 second. Let's see here. All right. So, like I said, like I always say, I'm a champion for doing things on the fly. I'm a champion for doing things on the fly. So I'm testing out I'm testing out a new screen. Basically, what I'm trying to do, y'all can't see it, but I have 3 screens in front of me. So I've been having some issues with my system. And again, for those of you that when you're using OBS, because that's what I'm using right now to stream, OBS is not like StreamYard. It's not like it's not like it's not like the streaming, the browser, the streams where you can stream in the browser. We were supposed to be streaming on Rumble. Let me see here. But for some reason, oh no, my Rumble stream is not working. So it's just a still picture of Tasha K over there. Shout out to Cynical One in the building. Shout out to Cynical One in the building. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out. Damn, let me try something right quick. I'm about to try something. So hopefully the stream don't crash. Like the stream is basically over. So, but now because I haven't been live in a minute, I'm just I'm experimenting. Yeah, Luda, I'm on Rumble too. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to refresh my chat so that I could actually type in the chat. Let me see here. So that I could put all my links in the chat. Does the picture quality still look decent? Because all of the screens I'm using is I got my graphics card is running to the max right now. So I have y'all can't see it, but I have a screen right here in front of me. Oh shit, I'm about to break the damn mic. A screen right here in front of me. I have a screen right there. Then I have a screen right over there. And by the way, man, listen, my street days are over. I'm not saying that I was a thug or anything, but did y'all see the way that I was pointing at these monitors right there? Don't commit no crime around me, because if the police ever come around me and they ask me to identify and then they ask me to take the stand on you in court, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna point. Yes, sir. That was her right there. Yes, sir. She tried to take my hamburger. That was her. Yes, sir. That was her. I'm a point. Yeah, I'm one of these dudes. Not only will I tell on you, I'm a point. I'm a hold my hand up so long my arm gonna get tired. I'm pointing you out. Yep, that was her. Let me see here. Hold on, y'all. All right, hopefully the stream does not crash. But I'm gonna try it. Gonna try this here. Let's see. Uh-oh. What's going on? I got a black screen. All right, hold on. Let me refresh. Let me refresh. Okay, but that's not the right stream though. That ain't the right one. I thought that was the right one. That ain't the right one. Lady Navoa, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Okay. All right. We got something. We got some kind of motion. Why? Okay. Why do I got a black screen again? Come on now. Oh, don't do this to me. Please. Like what James Brown said back in the day. Please. 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 Let me see here. Okay, I think I had some type of progress here. At least I thought. Hold on. Orlan, as my Trinidadian folks say. Orlan. We got a comment that says, if 99% of FBA, let me read it on the closer screen. If 99% of FBA self-proclaimed, oh, well, let me wait for him to get done typing. While I'm waiting on him to get done typing, sorry, y'all. I'm over here. I'm over here using y'all as an experiment. I'm over here literally doing work that I would be doing behind the scenes. All right, let me try this again. What? Hold on. Pop out chat. We're going to get this right. I'll put my links in the chat in just a second. But let me read these comments right here. Let's see. If 99% of FBA self-proclaim themselves as we, the no African descendants, it should literally mean that FBA are not Black Americans. But here's the thing. FBA are Black Americans. Africans are the ones that don't consider themselves Black. For the basic fact, real Black Americans are African descendants, aka African Americans. No, we are not African Americans, because Black Africans don't really rock with Americans. So no, we're not. You might be an African American. I'm not an African American, which means FBA has no history, no civil rights leaders, icons, accomplishments. Okay, that's your opinion. Let's see the next comment. For simple basic fact that all Black civil rights leaders, icons, and accomplishments were all accomplished by African descendants. Yes, we are descendants of Africans. We are not African Americans. We are descendants. There's a just for instance, just like you have, 300 white people in America, but they don't call themselves German or wherever they come from. They call themselves Americans. The whole purpose of foundational Black American is to make the distinction from Africans and Black Americans. When Africans landed in America, we started a new, first of all, you had Africans that came from Africa, and it wasn't as many as they really said that came from Africa. And then you have the indigenous people and the Black people that was already here. So when you have all of that going on in the 15 and 1600s, guess what? You got a lot of mixing and breeding going on. So yeah, we are descendants, but we're not African Americans. Let's see what else you said. Let's see. Plus, FBA are always claiming that FBA is also a new ethnogenesis, which FBA is a newer ethnogenesis. It is. That FBA has no leaders. FBA has no leaders and is not a movement, which proves the fact that FBA has no civil rights leaders or icon and accomplishments. To be honest, I really don't understand what you're trying to say there. You have what you call a civil rights leader. I guess if I'm trying to make the connection, a civil rights leader is not a leader of Black people. A civil rights leader is not a leader of foundational Black Americans. A civil rights leader is a leader in civil rights. And see, this is the thing for you people that don't like the word FBA, or you feel like you're getting left out or whatever. You guys, y'all don't really make good arguments. Let's see. And that equals no history, because without leaders, there is no movement. And without movement, there is no accomplishments. It's a lineage-based movement. A lineage-based movement. So how could a lineage have a leader? How could a lineage have a leader? Let's see. And only tethering themselves into all the Afro diaspora businesses, which has absolutely nothing to do with the we know African. See, only the tethering themselves into all. Yeah, I don't really get that. I don't really get that statement. Whatever, you just like they are the original and only tethering themselves into the real indigenous Americans' business, trying to culture vulture the real indigenous Americans' ancestry. Well, here's the thing about that. And here's the unique thing here. And listen, here's the unique thing about foundational Black Americans. There are foundational Black Americans that probably do not have any type of African blood in their DNA. There are foundational Black Americans that probably have Nigerian or Ghanaian or Kenyan in their DNA. That's why it's called an ethnogenesis. That's the beautiful thing about foundational Black Americans, is we are such an amalgamation of people. This is why it's really difficult to really just like say, oh, you're not a part of this tribe, because the foundational Black American is a mixture of a lot of shit. Just like other groups in America is a mixture of a lot of shit. But we're going to call ourselves foundational Black Americans because we have recorded history that goes back to probably the first census of 1790 or the 1860s. We have ancestors that were slaves in America. And as the generations go on, that African bloodline fizzles out. Not only does it fizzle out, you literally have Africans calling Black Americans dirty cotton pickers. So why should we call ourselves African Americans when Africans, after they sent our African ancestors over to America during slavery, did they send any troops or any boats to try to save us and take us back to Africa? No, they didn't. They just let us stay over here in good old America. And we populated. We had families. And we began to build our legacy as a new group of people in America. So why would we call ourselves African Americans when the Africans don't even claim Americans like that, claim Black Americans like that? Shout out to Mo Love in the building and the $5 donation. She says support for the stream zone. Yo, let me tell you something, Mo Love. I've been trying to do this stream for like 2 or 3 days now, but I've been having like technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? So it's a miracle that I'm even talking to y'all right now. I've been kind of like experimenting with some hardware while I got the stream up. I got 3 screens going, and my graphics card is like, and my video card is like kind of tripping a little bit. But I'm like trying to experiment so that I know like the settings and all of that kind of stuff. Plus, I'm using OBS, which takes up a lot of processing power. And listen, the reason that I use OBS is because it's free, man. Y'all be paying $45 a month for StreamYard and all of this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not hating on nobody. I'm just saying, I ain't with all that. I'm one of them penny pinching ninjas. I'm like, y'all remember Everybody Hates Chris? I'm like Chris' dad, Julius. I'm a Julius. Y'all remember like Julius would be like digging in the couch seats, and he might be like, yo, I found 5 cents. Or like one of his kids will be like pouring too much milk in the cereal bowl, and he'll be like, hey man, that's too much milk in that bowl. That's 38 cents worth of milk you wasted. Like, I'm one of them. Like, I pay attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? And I don't claim to know everything, man. I don't claim to know everything. I'm a perpetual student, man. I'm always gonna be learning, man. Let me see. Anthony Robertson in the chat says, Tasha K, I think, are cool and talented. Corey and Cardi, this is who you want to fight. Tasha K is not talented. Sorry. Talking shit about people for a living is not talented. Sorry. Now, does Tasha K, does she have a grind and a hustle about herself? Absolutely. But I don't necessarily know if I would call her talented, man. Because I see people get on this YouTube every day and all they do is talk shit about other people. That's all they do. And they be having hundreds of viewers in their chat. People be sending in cash apps and super chats to support the bullshit. So if a regular ninja off YouTube could do it, how talented is she really? Let me see. Be Active 8075 says all group, culture, ethnicity, community all have a leader leading their way. Because without leaders, there is no movement. And without a movement, there is... Look, bro, I mean, listen. Listen, man. If a chick comes to me, if I'm in a relationship with a chick, right? And she comes to me and accuses me of cheating on her. And I tell her, yo, I'm not cheating on you. And she refuses to believe me. I'm not going to waste my rabbit ass time trying to convince her that I'm not cheating. I don't try to convince people. I tell you what I believe. I give you my opinion. I give you the facts if I got it. And that's what it is. If that's what you believe, I don't got nothing against you. That's what you believe. But I don't believe what you believe. But you can believe what you could believe. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, FBA is a lineage-based movement. So therefore, if it's a lineage-based movement, how could a lineage have a leader when there's literally 50 foundational Black Americans? Who's the leader of 50 million foundational Black Americans? Who's the leader? It's not Tariq Nasheed. Let me see. Mo Love says she has StreamYard. StreamYard has issues. Yeah, StreamYard be tripping, man. StreamYard be tripping. Let's see here. Okay. Does the video still look all right? Does the picture still look okay? If y'all in the chat. Let's see here. All right, y'all. So I'm spamming, doing a little bit of housekeeping here. I'm spamming my links in the chat. Appreciate that, Raj. So those are my channels. Got a few new channels in there. that we gonna be streaming on sooner or later. And just so y'all know, man, for you content creators, y'all better start y'all channels before February of 2027, because starting February 1st, 2027, it's going to take you 8,000 hours to get monetized on YouTube now. You're going to have 8,000 hours watch time and 1,000 subscribers before YouTube will monetize your channel. So if I were y'all, for those of you thinking about starting new channels, I would go ahead and start your channels ASAP, because if you're starting your channel after February 1st of 2027, the guidelines are going up. Let me say, Luna Wolf says, why is that happening? I think that's happening because a lot of people are not really creating content. A lot of people are like finding loopholes to make content. So I feel like, plus obviously the more users that you had, the more creators that you have on YouTube, it costs money for the servers. So YouTube is about to tighten up with all these lazy ass content creators, who just want to play videos the whole live stream. We've been live for over here for 2 hours already, and I only played like 10 minutes worth of video. I've been talking the whole time. I've been talking the whole time. Let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna pull up another screen here. That's crazy. My Rumble stream did not want to work at all. Insane. Good morning to everybody that is entering the chat. See, hold on 1 second. Hit the like button if you could. That helps the stream. I don't know if I'm gonna leave the stream up, but hey, hit the like button. Likes are free. Let's see here. Yeah, so I have, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I have six channels. 6 channels now. Let's see. Beat Active says, can you answer with sincerely? I think you meant, can you answer sincerely? Where do you think the coiled afro woolly hair texture came from? I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from, and it doesn't matter. Because guess what? Africans are not FBA. FBA may have African DNA, but FBA is not African. So it doesn't matter. You can try to like, and I'm answering this sincerely, man. Because here's the thing. People try to, they always try to like ask, they throw out all of these theories and stuff like that, man. Listen, FBA is here to stay. FBA ain't going nowhere. Because anybody can come over here from Africa, a black African. Because here's the thing. I will never understand why Africans don't like to say that they're black. I will never understand that. Because any black African can come from Africa to America, get citizenship, and call themselves an African American. That's why foundational black Americans are not African Americans. Elon Musk is South African, and technically he's an African American. So why would foundational black Americans call themselves African Americans when Elon Musk can come over here from South Africa and be African American? And here's the thing, just speaking for myself, I know, okay, I'm not speaking for everybody else, right? I know that I have African in my DNA for the simple fact that my grandparents who came to America in 1968 are Trinidadian. My father's Trinidadian. So if my grandparents are from Trinidad, there's probably a 95% chance that, you know, I have heavy African DNA in my blood. So I can't speak for everybody else, but, and I'm not even talking about from my FBA side. I'm talking about just from my Trinidadian side. You know, because in Trinidad, you know, it's really you have a lot of Indian people in Trinidad. So Trinidad is really Trinidad. Trinidad is really like it's I don't even know how to describe it. But what I do know is I know I have really thick hair. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I know even my own girlfriend, like when she first met me, she said, you know, you looked like you was some type of Caribbean or something like that. So speaking for myself, I know I definitely got some African in me for sure. Because my grandparents are from Trinidad. I probably get more African from that side than I do my FBA side, my mother's side. Let's see. Beat Active says Elon Musk is ethnically African by birth, but Anglo-Saxon by race. Just like you, USA American by ethnically. USA American. I get what you're trying to say, but like just slow down when you're typing, man. You kind of get your words mixed up. And I get what you're saying, but the point is anybody from Africa can come over to America, get citizenship, and now anybody that's born in Africa can come over to the United States, get citizenship. Now they're literally an African American. So Black Americans would be doing themselves a disservice by calling themselves African Americans. Stop calling yourselves African Americans. You're not African Americans. As for me, I'm black. I'm a Negro. I'm a nigga at times. End of discussion. Point blank, period. And that's just the way it is with me. That's just the way it is with me. I know what police see when they look at me. I know what white supremacists see when they look at me. So I'm going to be what they don't like. I can't tell anybody else to have the mindset that I have, but hey, that's just how I feel. But anyway, man, what's going on? Like, before I get ready to, how long we been live? Almost 2.5 hours. What's popping in these streets, man? What's going on in these YouTube streets? What's popping in this world of topics, man? What's going on? I know we got the Nolan Wells situation going on. We got the Nolan Wells situation going on, man. Listen, man. Let me tell y'all about that situation. I believe that something happened to Nolan Wells for the simple fact that the young men, Warren, Wyatt, Bart, right? Those are the three young men that y'all keep seeing on coon ass Officer Tatum. If nothing happened, there's really not much to explain. These dudes are trying. I'm gonna just tell y'all like this. Anytime when I was a young whippersnapper and I was stealing candy out the candy jar, or I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do, I am not gonna lie. I used to talk my ass off. I used to tell so many lies to try to get out the situation. Because if you really think about it, like people that are really innocent, they don't really do a lot of talking. These dudes is doing interview after interview after interview, trying to explain themselves. That's why I think something happened. I'm not even talking about no evidence, nothing. I think something happened because they doing too much splaining, man. They doing too much splaining, man. I was looking up some information on coon ass Officer Tatum. Yo, I didn't know he was I knew he was a police officer, obviously. But I didn't know that he was actually a police officer here. He was a police officer here in Arizona, about 2.5 hours away from me. He was an officer in Tucson, Arizona. He was an officer in Tucson, Arizona. And you know what's crazy is I thought that he was in his 40s, man. That dude is 39, man. I thought that Tatum was at least 45, 46, 47. This dude 39, man. And you know what's funny, right? Because there was a clip going around of Brandon Tatum saying that, shout out to Luna for going in the Rumble. going in the Rumble live chat. Shout out to Luna. There was a video that came out a couple years ago when Charlie Kirk got killed of Brandon Tatum saying that he wouldn't cry for his son, but he'll cry for Brandon Tatum. And Charlie Kirk he actually lived not that far from me. Charlie Kirk actually lived here in Arizona. So that's the connection that Brandon Tater Tot, or whatever the hell his name is. That's the connection that Brandon has with Charlie Kirk. There was a lot of rallies and all of that stuff. And Brandon was at almost all of them rallies, man. I literally probably have seen Brandon Tatum in real life, and I didn't even know it. So it's only so many black folks over here in Arizona where I live at. I mean, it's black folks, but it's just not. It's not a lot. Like, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. Like, it's hella black folks in Greenville, South Carolina. But compared to where I'm from and where I live at, it's not really that many black folks. Let me see here. All right, y'all. Well, this was fun. I don't know if I'm going to leave the stream up or not. I may or may not. But for those of you that were here to hear everything I had to say, appreciate you. And maybe we'll do this again. Oh, Looney, you in South Carolina? What part of South Carolina you in? What part of South Carolina you in, Luna? Okay, you in Columbia. You's in the capital. All right. Yeah, most of my family. Okay. Yeah, most of my family went to the University of South Carolina. We Gamecock folk over here. I think I had one cousin. I had one cousin that went to Clemson. He's the traitor. Mostly almost all my family went to the University of South Carolina. So we a Gamecock family. You dig? Only got a few more days until the college football season start, man. Yeah. Okay, you from Detroit. Okay. Word. All right, y'all. Well, not bad. So we got 101 views on one stream. So not bad. Not bad for my first time back in a hot minute. Spent 7 years in New England, then 8 years in NC. Okay. Word up. Word up. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it's late night, early mornings. About to be 5:30 a.m. over here on the West Coast. This is typically when I go streaming, man. I stream late night, early morning, man. I let everybody do their streams in a day, you know. Then I just come on and do my thing, man. But again, I appreciate everybody for stopping through. Like I said, we might do this again later tonight / morning. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. Appreciate everybody that sent in those donos. I'm going to take that little change and I'm going to buy me a good old fish sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Put some tartar sauce. I'm just kidding. I don't even eat fish like that. And I damn sure don't eat tartar sauce or mayonnaise. I don't like tartar sauce or mayonnaise. It's nasty. You feel what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me though, man. Luna Wolf says the ladies chat is in here. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man. That's one thing about the ladies, man. The ladies support. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these ninjas, they don't want to be in the chat because they just be hating. You know what I'm saying? Like they just be hating, man. The ladies support. Shout out to the lovely Chanel in the building. Chanel, are you from Freezy Channel? I feel like I've seen you before. Maybe not. But yeah, man. Black men need black women. Black women need black men. Point blank, period, man. All of y'all that be falling for this gender war stuff. Y'all are fools, man. It's one thing for the ladies to have your opinions on men and for the men to have your opinions and your thoughts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But when y'all let that turn into hate, I'll be looking at y'all crazy, man. I'll be looking at y'all crazy, man. You know, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna wrap it up, right? I've always hated the saying, you can't help who you fall in love with. How the hell you can't help who you fall in love with? You can choose what you want to eat. You can choose what you want to drink. Hell, you could even choose what kind of car you want to drive if you got the money. You could even choose what kind of house you live in if you got the money. You could choose what kind of hotel you want to stay in if you got the money. You could choose where you want to go on vacation if you got the money. But how the hell you can't choose, you can't help who you fall in love with. So if you fall in love with a dude and you find out that he's a serial killer, what, you just supposed to love him anyway? Just because you fell in love with him? Like if you're a dude, you fell in love with a chick and you find out that she's a prostitute, you just supposed to stay in love with her just because you fell in love with her? Like, I hate stupid sayings like that. You can't help who you fall in love with. I mean, if you can choose everything you want to do in your life, damn near, I think you can probably choose who you want to fall in love with. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I done been talking to some pretty decent looking chicks, thinking I'm gonna fall in love and shit. And she tell me about how she set her ex-boyfriend up and stabbed out his tires. I'm unattracted. Oh, I'm unattracted because that mean when I say something to piss you off, you gonna do the same thing to me. I'm unattracted. I can help it. I can help it. I'm just saying. But anyway, man, appreciate y'all for rocking with me. 2 hours, 30 minutes, man. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, man. And I will see y'all next time. Go get some sleep.